Dear students, I hope you are all well. Now we are meeting again. We will continue with the prose piece we started last day, Strong Roots by APJ Abdul Kalam. You bring your textbook and open your page number 48. We will begin with the paragraph, The High Priest of Rameshwaram Temple. So, I hope you are all ready. Now, what did we read last day? We read that APJ Abdul Kalam was speaking about his childhood, his style of reading, his going to the prayer for namaz, hearing the namaz, and going to the mosque with his father every day, and how he was impressed by the prayer though he could not understand the meaning. Now today we will continue with that piece. Now we saw that he lived near the famous Rameshwaram Shiv temple. Now the high priest of Rameshwaram temple, Pakshmi Lakshmana Shastri, was a very close friend of my father's. Though he was Hindu, but his father was a Muslim, but they were very close friends. Why? Now see, because there was a very close relation. One of the most vivid memories of my early childhood is of the two men, each in traditional attire, attire means dress, discussing spiritual matters. Do you know what is spiritual matters? It speaks about the spirit, opposite to material. Spiritual matters, we say in Bengali, adhyatmik vishay. And both of them discussed about spiritual matters. And little Abdul Kalam, he would listen to this. When I was old enough to ask questions, I asked my father about the relevance of prayer. About the relevance of prayer, what is the usefulness of prayer, how it is associated with our life. He asked this question when he grew up a little. My father told me there was nothing mysterious about prayer. So his father told that there was nothing mysterious, it was a very simple matter. Rather, prayer made possible a communion of the spirits between people. You know, they pray together, and his father wanted to mean that when one prays in mosque, he or she feels a communion with other people. He feels there is a close relation with the other people. So, when you pray, he said, you transcend your body and become a part of the cosmos, which knows no division of wealth, age, caste or creed. His father told that when anybody prays, he goes beyond, transcend means goes beyond the limit, goes beyond the limit of his body, and he feels that he has become a part of the universe. Cosmos means universe. During the prayer, he feels this, that he has become a part of the universe. He is no more limited in his body, and in that universe there is no division of wealth, age, caste or creed. And so this is the relevance of prayer. There is nothing mysterious, it's a very simple matter, but by praying one goes beyond the limit of his bodily existence and feels that there is a divine being, and he feels himself that he is also a part of this cosmos. Next paragraph. My father could convey complex spiritual concepts in very simple, down-to-earth Tamil. Now look at the word down to earth. It's a compound word and it's an adjective. What does it mean? Down to earth, it means very simple, in very ordinary. What can be understood by any ordinary person. his father had the capacity to convey complex spiritual concepts in very simple down-to-earth Tamil. He once told me, in his own time, in his own place, in what he really is, and in the stage he has reached, good or bad, every human being is a specific element within the whole of the manifest divine being. Look at the word manifest divine being, and you see the word being, B is capital. Why? Because it is God. He wanted to mean God, and so the B is capital, an entity, and so within the whole of the manifest divine being, manifest, what we can see with our eye, or what is revealed to us, how the cosmos, how the universe is revealed to us. And so this is the manifest divine being, this is the manifestation of the divine being, Prakash jake bole, Ananta Sattar Prakash, সেই অর্থে। Now every human being feels that he is a specific element, that he has also a specific, a particular position. He is also an element within this manifestation of this divine being. সে মনে করে যে সেও অনন্ত সত্তার প্রকাশের মধ্যে সেও একটি উপাদান। So why be afraid of difficulties, suffering and problems? When troubles come, try to understand the relevance of your sufferings. Try to understand the relevance of your sufferings. So Kalam's father's advice was that when you are in difficulty, you try to understand why you are in such a difficult condition, why try to relevance of your sufferings. Adversity always presents opportunities for introspection. Introspection, this is given in your book, Thinking Deeply About Oneself. Now adversity, what is it? Adversity is adverse condition, adverse situation, প্রতিকূলতা, misfortune, যাকে বলে দুর্ভাগ্য আমরা যাকে বলি। Adversity always presents opportunities. Opportunities means chance. When you are in adversity, you get the chance to think, to closely examine your own thoughts and feelings. This is introspection. This is a philosophical term. And so his advice he wanted to mean, don't be afraid of adversity. Adversity always gives you the opportunity for seeing your own self, for examining your own thoughts and feelings. And so don't be afraid of adversities. But those people who came to Kalam's father for help, they were very afraid, and so they came for a helper in Kalam's father. In the next paragraph, his father explains this. Let us continue. Next paragraph, page number 49. Why don't you say this to the people who come to you for help and advice? I asked my father. Hearing this, Kalam naturally asked his father, then why don't you say this to the people? Then why do you dip your finger in the water, and why do you pray for them? Why do you pray? You can tell this advice, you can advise them in this way. Now hearing this, what was the reaction of his father? Because this question impressed his father. And he put his hands on my shoulders and looked straight into my eyes. This is the reaction. And for quite some time he said nothing. কিছুক্ষণ তিনি কোনো কথা বললেন না। As if he was judging my capacity to comprehend his words. To comprehend, understand. As if he was judging my capacity, how much Kalam was able to understand his words. কালাম কতটা তার কথাগুলোর মর্ম বুঝতে পারছে সেটা জানার জন্য তিনি উত্তর দেওয়ার জন্য কিছুটা সময় নিলেন এবং তার দিকে কালামের দিকে তাকিয়ে রইলেন, বিকজ হি ওয়াজ ভেরি ইমপ্রেসড বাই দ্য ইনকুইজিটিভনেস অফ কালাম। কলামের অনুসন্ধিৎসা দেখে, কৌতূহল দেখে তার বাবা খুব অভিভূত হয়েছিলেন। নাও লেট আস সি হোয়াট হি আনসার্ড। দেন হি আনসার্ড ইন এ লো ডিপ ভয়েস। His answer filled me with a strange energy and enthusiasm. তার উত্তর কালামকে এক অদ্ভুত ধরনের শক্তি এবং উৎসাহে পূর্ণ করেছিল। নাও নেক্সট হিজ আনসার, whenever human beings find themselves alone, as a natural reaction they start looking for company. Whenever they are in trouble, they look for someone to help them. কষ্টে পড়লেই তারা চায় যে কার কোনো একজন হেল্পার। Those people who came to his father, they were in trouble. You know, there were sick people at their house. Whenever they reach an impasse, you look at the word IMPASSE, you will pronounce it as impasse, not impasse, because it's a French word and in French it's pronounced as impasse, but we'll say impasse, not impasse. What is impasse? It's a deadlock, অচল অবস্থা, যে অবস্থা থেকে বেরিয়ে আসা যাচ্ছে না। Now whenever they reach an impasse, they look to someone to show them the way out. Every recurrent anguish, recurrent, that means happening again and again, বারবার পুনরাবৃত্তি, যে সকল anguish, longing and desire finds its own special helper. Whenever the anguish, longing and desire, they recur in our life again and again, বারংবার ঘটতে থাকে এবং প্রত্যেকবারই মানুষ সেই সময়গুলোয় হেল্পারের প্রয়োজন অনুভব করে। Now for the people who come to me in distress, I am but a go-between in their effort to propitiate demonic forces with prayers and offerings. বলছেন যে সকল পিপল আমার কাছে, যে সকল লোকেরা আমার কাছে আসে, তারা যখন কোনো রকম কষ্টে বা অসুবিধায় পড়ে, ইন ডিস্ট্রেস, I am but a go between. Here but means only. I am only go between. Look at the word go between. It's a compound word. It's a noun. And what is the meaning? Go between means mediator, negotiator, মধ্যস্থ। আমি তাদের মধ্যে মধ্যস্থতার কাজ করি। কাদের মধ্যে? those people who are suffering and the demonic forces, because those people believe that they are suffering because of those demonic forces, and so those demonic forces have to be appeased, have to be driven away. ওই ডিমনিক ফোর্সেস, যে দানবীয় শক্তি বা অশুভ শক্তি, ইভিল ফোর্সেস, ডিমনিক মিন্স ইভিল, ওই অশুভ শক্তিগুলোকে তাদেরকে শান্ত করতে হবে বা দূর করতে হবে, শান্ত করতে হবে। সো দিস ওয়াজ দেয়ার বিলিভ, এটা তারা এটাই বিশ্বাস করত। অ্যান্ড কালামস ফাদার নিউ দ্যাট হি ওয়াজ অ্যাক্টিং অ্যাজ এ মিডিয়েটর বিটুইন দোজ সাফারিং পিপল অ্যান্ড দোজ ডিমনিক ফোর্সেস। নাও দিস ইজ not a correct approach at all and should never be followed. Look at his open confession, তার অকপট স্বীকারোক্তি দেখো। তিনি মনে করেন এটা মোটেই একটা সঠিক উপায় নয় এবং কখনোই এই পদ্ধতি অবলম্বন করা উচিত নয়। What is that approach? That he would act as a mediator between those suffering people and the demonic forces, evil forces. This is not a correct approach. So what is the correct approach? তার মতে correct approach তাহলে কি? দেখি, one must understand the difference between a fear-ridden vision of destiny, fear-ridden vision of destiny. Fear-ridden, ভয়ের দ্বারা ক্লিষ্ট, vision of destiny. Destiny means predetermined luck, আমাদের পূর্ব নির্ধারিত ভাগ্য, যেটা সকলেই আমরা বিশ্বাস করি। ফিয়ার-রিডেন ভিশন অফ ডেস্টিনি, তারা মনে করে তাদের ভাগ্যে আগে থেকে এই দুর্ভাগ্যের যেটা ঘটছে, যে কষ্ট ঘটছে সেটা লেখা ছিল এবং ফলে তারা অত্যন্ত ভীত। এই দৃষ্টি অ্যান্ড দ্য ভিশন, এবং যে ভিশন দ্যাট এনাবেলস আস টু সিক দ্য এনিমি অফ ফুলফিলমেন্ট উইদিন আওয়ার সেলভস, এবং সেই ভিশন, যে দৃষ্টি বা যে ধারণা আমাদের মধ্যে উইদিন আওয়ার সেলভস, আমাদের নিজেদের মধ্যেই আমরা পেতে পারি দ্য এনিমি অফ ফুলফিলমেন্ট, সেই শত্রু যে আমাদের কার্য সম্পাদনে বাধা দিচ্ছে, যার ফলে আমরা সাফার করছি। সো ফিয়ার রিডেন ভিশন অফ ডেস্টিনি and vision that enables us to see the enemy of fulfillment within ourselves. What does he mean? Kalam's father wanted to mean you have no necessity to go to a mediator, you go to a negotiator, you can yourself cure, you try to find the cause of destiny within yourselves, and so you try yourselves and you have the power. And so he is very confident that people can do this if they want, but those people were very afraid, and so they came to Kalam's father. So people naturally, when man is very afraid, so when they are suffering, they think that they need a helper, and Kalam's father did this role of helper, but he did not appreciate this. He himself did not admit, he himself did not want that, he himself did not support this, he himself, but for those people he had to do this. Now let us stop here today, and next day we will continue and finish this piece, and you understand the philosophical learnings of Kalam's father, what he wanted to mean, read it again and again, and in my next class we will meet again. And till then, keep well, keep fit, and thanks to all for listening to my online class. So long.